That is my morning cappuccino. So this morning, we're going to just go through my coffee making routine. So every morning I make coffee here in the cafe. We're at the front of the hotel. And so we're going to go through the steps that I use to make my morning cappuccino. So the first thing is selecting the coffee. Over here I have a geisha coffee from our friend's farm in Huehuetenango. It's a wash coffee. I roasted it a little bit darker than normal because I knew it was destined for the espresso machine. But that's what we got on the bar today. Another important thing is to understand ratios. So we're brewing in a 1 to 1.65 ratio, and what that means is it's for every 1 part coffee, we have 1.65 parts water. So I put a little graphic up with the graphs, but I'm using this Baratza Vario W. It's got a little scale built in. I'm going to use 19 grams of coffee. So to get the ratio that we're looking for, we're going to do 1.65 times that in water. So I'll do the exact math, but I'll just let you know it's just under 32 grams that we're going to use in total. So pardon me while this very loud grinder grinds. While that goes, I'm going to get everything else prepped, get my milk poured, get my cup ready. This is a E61 group head machine on a heat exchanger. So what that means is that the water that sits in the group head gets really, really hot. And so before I brew, I always flush a little bit of that out. You see kind of a burst of steam. We don't want that to be too hot. So even though this is a PID controlled machine and there's a lot of thermal stability, that first ounce or two of water needs to be flushed out to avoid scalding the coffee when we brew it. So fresh ground coffee is super, super important, as is the way that you put that coffee in the portafilter. So I do a little tap, I lightly spread it out, and then I use this distributor that puts that coffee more evenly in the basket of the portafilter. And then we want a nice even tamp so the water is able to pass through all that coffee nice and evenly. So we'll lock that in, put our scale on here. Remember, we're looking for 32 grams of coffee. And the timer is running, and that kind of gives us a point of reference in how fast that water is passing through the bed of coffee. Obviously, the longer it's in contact with the ground coffee, the more dissolvable solids it's going to extract out there. So we want that to take about 30 seconds to hit our 32 grams. While that goes, I'm going to steam the milk. So 28 seconds, we're right in the range. Now you can use a thermometer for this part, but I tend to just go by touch. I've made enough of these, I know how hot I want it to be. The general rule of thumb is if it's too hot to hold, then it's too hot to drink. And then the last part. Make sure you get that nice textured milk evenly poured on top. And that is my morning cappuccino.